Okay, today we're going to show you a Okamoto 1224 SD 3-axis hydraulic surface grinder. So I have it running right now with the grinding wheel turned on, the table going back and forth, the saddle going in and out. And so I could show you right here that this is what starts and stops the table. And this is how you increase or decrease the speed. These are your table dogs. If you spread these out, then you travel further. You have something very similar on the side here for the cross feed. There's two proximity switches right here that these metal tabs are coming in contact with and reversing the solenoids. So none of that will work if you have the hand wheel pushed in, so you always want to remember that about these machines. You got to pull this out. So you have that. So the cross feed is turned on by this lever here. This is the table, this is the cross feed. With that turned like that, you'll have no cross feed. If you want continuous cross feed, you can go up here and then it just goes back and forth. Reverses when it hits the dog on the side there. But most people want to use it in the stepping mode like this, where it goes to one end and then moves, goes to the one end and then moves, goes to one end and then moves. So you got to time this movement out with the size of your part, the length of the travel, and the speed of the travel. You want it to reverse completely and then feed. But some people like to go diagonally across the workpiece, so then they use that setting there. So the amount of this step is adjusted with this knob here. You push this in and you can turn this clockwise to increase it, counterclockwise, excuse me, to increase it, or clockwise to decrease it. All right, so we have a stop button over here on the main control. I could stop that and that'll stop the table. Like the cross feed, the vertical also has a safety. When it's in, you can come down to your part very slowly, but you can't use your rapid. If you want to use your rapid, you have to make sure you have that pulled out. That's pretty fast. So also has to be pulled out in the cycle. So what we have over here is on the top is our table start and stop. You have a mode selector here, whether you want to do surface grinding or plunge grinding. Now plunge grinding would be without the saddle moving. You have your hydraulics to turn on, your spindle to turn on, your coolant to turn on, and the dust collector if you had one. You have your rapid up and down. You have your cross feed. If you're going to be surface grinding, you have to select the direction. Or you put it in the center and that will give you the automatic left and right. But normally to get the cross feed to move, if it's not already moving and you do have this pulled out, usually you have to just select left or right with this switch here and then the cross feed will start moving. This should return back to the center. Over here you have, for your automatic grinding, you have manual where you're going to turn the hand wheel yourself. You have automatic in the center where it's just going to go around and around. And when you put it on the final setting with the line, that's going to feed only down to 0, where it's going to contact a switch inside here. It's going to start a timer, excuse me, and it's going to give you a spark out. And over here is your magnet. You have a variable setting on here, so you could use this over here, but if you put it all the way to the left, you're on the full magnetism. So we'll start up the table. Let's see. Start the feed. You press the button. And each time the table reverses, we feed with the hand wheel. All right, let me show you a plunge grind because it works a little bit better. And let's See, in the plunge mode, we don't have to wait for the saddle to go back and forth. Each reversal will feed it down to 0. And if I want to help it down there, over here you set the amount of spark out. So now that it got to 0, it stopped moving. And since I had this on 0, it only did 1 or 2 passes. If I would have had it up here on 3 or 4, it would have gone back and forth, back and forth, back and forth many more times. I'm not sure what these numbers really mean, but it's the higher the number, the longer the spark out. So I guess that's pretty much everything. There's the DRO we have up here. It's a 2-axis. A little hard to see, but it's very clear once you take a good look at it. And it's 220 volts, 3-phase. We have a beautiful cooling system someplace for it. And this is original factory paint. And overall, this machine is great. So thank you very much.